Okay, metalheads, you've been complaining that there has not been a channel that plays all of the heavy metal videos from past, present, and future for years and years at this point. Well, that time is over. Heavy Metal Television is back. HeavyMetalTelevision.net is the website. Go there. You can see videos playing 24/7, 365, all the time, all the best from the old school, the new school, and everything in between. Check it out, HeavyMetalTelevision.net. It is where the metal is. It is CHRIS Akin Presents, and I, of course, am Chris Akin, and joining me today to talk about her fabulous new band, new record, and I guess none of this is new anymore, but they've had an incredible first year, and as most of you that pay attention to anything that I do know, I've been singing Mariah's praises for a while now, and I'm happy to finally do this one-on-one. From the band Plush is Miss Moriah Formica. Moriah, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Now, Moriah, I've been saying for basically since I was turned on to your videos, well before Plush was even a band, that you had the best voice that is out there. Period. You know, not the best female voice. I know you've seen that in things. How do you take that? Do you take that as, I know you take it as a compliment, but do you take it as enormous pressure? Do you roll with that? How do you take that when you hear that kind of stuff?
I mean, first of all, I'm just incredibly grateful, and I'm kind of shocked, whenever people say stuff like that. It's just really, it's weird because I'm like, I don't know, I guess how we only know what it's like to be in our bodies and our heads, right, and stuff. And so I don't know. I just am kind of shocked whenever I hear people say, things like that. And just, it's incredibly humbling, and it's just crazy. It just, and it honestly inspires me too. But I guess it inspires me to continue to try and be, the best me that I can be, and be, a better performer, a better artist, a better singer, and be the best that I can be.
Sure. Do you believe the hype?
I don't know. I haven't really thought about it that much. It's not that I don't believe the hype. It's just, I'm a very uncomfortable for me to think that way about myself. Right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's kind of how I am. I believe the hype. I trust the hype from what I've seen.
Sure.
But as far as me, I'm just doing me. I'm doing what I love with people that I love, and I'm sharing my music with people, and that's that's my goal. That's my focus the whole entire time.
Sure. Well, let's talk about sharing this music this last year. I mean, you literally just yesterday or the day before celebrated your 1 year as a band. And
yeah.
And as 1 year in a band, to go on the tours that you've gone on, to get the crazy amount of press that you've gotten, it's absolutely a whirlwind. I'm assuming. I'm sure you look at it yourself and you're like, man, what happened in 1 year? So talk a little bit about this whole thing as you look at it. I mean, has it been crazy fast for you? Has it felt right for you? Do you feel like you have a lot more to learn? Where do you think you are now? It's been,
it's, first of all, more than anything, it's just been incredible. Honestly, first of all, getting the tour with Evanescence and Hailstorm was something that I wanted to do, I dreamed about it ever since I was a little girl, but it's not like I thought, it wasn't like, I know this is going to happen. How some people just have prophetic things like that, but sure. I just never, I did not see that coming, especially, like you were saying, as quick as it did. And, I thought when it first was brought up the idea of doing that, I was like, there's no way we're going to get it. Like, we're a brand new band. We hadn't even really done live shows before.
Sure.
You know, as a band together, of course. And I was like, there's no way like they're going to pick us. But sure enough, I was like, holy shit. And like, just everything, you know, how well Hate did like on radio. And like, it's just stuff that I've, you know, worked for. And you know, I'm confident enough to say this on behalf of all the girls from Plush, but, you know, we've worked our whole lives for this. You know, this is what we've wanted. And it's just like, it's one of those things where people are like, you know, is there a moment where you feel like you've made it?
Right.
And the answer is no, but the closest that I have to that feeling is like, when I look at what we've done so far, I'm like, this is what it is. Like, this is what we've wanted. Everything after this point is a bonus. You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense? Like,
sure.
I'm like, everything after this point is a bonus. And I just, it's been a lot, you know, a lot. I do feel like it's happened very, very fast, because it has. And, you know, there are some things that are hard about it, but there are also things that are just, it's like, no, this is where I'm supposed to be right now in my life. And, you know, it's a lot. It's actually hard to explain it.
Sure.
You know?
No, I get it. I mean, just the run of tours that you guys have had is incredible. I mean, there are many, many bands that have a lot more years than you do that would kill for one of these tours. And I mean, I got to see you play with Wolfie when you guys played here in Cleveland. I saw the Wolfie show, and obviously, and you know, you obviously did Daughtry, and you did Evanescence and Hailstorm, and you're getting ready to go out with Slash. And I mean, these are all big tours for a band of your experience. It's amazing to me that none of you seem like you've been overwhelmed by it. And I'm sure maybe the first show of each tour, maybe you were a little bit, you know, get the hyperventilating right before you go on. But talk a little bit about that. Have you felt at all overwhelmed by not necessarily the tours themselves, but how quick they've come and how much they've risen in profile each time?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I personally have been. I can't speak for the other girls, but I mean, I know that they have. Actually, no, I can't. I know that it's been overwhelming, but for me personally, it is very, very overwhelming. And there are a lot of things that, you know, like for tour, for example, there are a lot of things that are, you know, really hard. And, you know, especially if you struggle with things like mental health and stuff like that, which is something that's been an ongoing struggle for me ever since I was a little kid. So it is very, very overwhelming, you know, but it's just one of those things where it's like when you get on stage and connect with the audience, it's just every single thing that was incredibly overwhelming, or, you know, some of the negatives of being, you know, in this industry and you know, having things pop up this fast it just is one of those things where that all just disappears. It's like everything becomes worth it.
Sure.
So, you know, so it is very overwhelming, but it's worth it.
Sure. You know? Certainly. Now, the one thing that does stand out, you know, from seeing you, you know, I saw you on what I guess would have been your first national tour, you know, and then I was watching earlier today, I was watching some videos from the Seven Dust show that you did in Atlanta. And it's very clear you guys have grown 1,000% on stage. It just seems like, you know, there's like a little more energy and a little less nerves. Like I don't know how to explain it other than it seemed like when I saw you, the first song, you guys were like, now, I think that was like your first show too, if I'm not mistaken, the Cleveland show was like first or second. But
yeah, I think so. That was at the House of Blues, right?
yeah.
Yeah, so that was I think that was either our first or second show. Yeah.
And clearly you guys came out and you were kind of doing this looking around, seeing where you were thing, where with the Seven Dust thing, it was like you guys just came out to roar. And it just seemed like you were so much more comfortable. Do you feel like, not necessarily only you, because you've obviously done it in front of a lot of people prior to Plush even, but do you feel more comfortable? And do you think that the band is much more comfortable now where the number of people is not as intimidating as it might have been at the start?
Definitely. That's honestly one of the biggest things that I've noticed, you know, over this last year is, you know, it really is amazing, like documenting the progression of our confidence, you know, like
Sure.
I can say 100% that we're all, you know, much more confident, and we just have this thing. Me personally, I'm way more confident, you know, than I ever was, even doing my own Moriah Formica thing, because I was, you know, don't get me wrong, like I'm a very nervous person anyways. So
Right.
there's things, you know, for the first couple songs, I'm going to be a little nervous, but, you know, I've learned to really kind of put that on the back burner. And being on tour has just really, really accelerated that. It's like one of those things where it's like you can practice and practice all you want, and things can be perfect, but it's never gonna, you're not gonna, you know, get your groove as a band
Sure.
live until you go out and you experience every type of venue and every type of sound situation, you know, like what if you can't use in-ears that night, or what if you can't? And so just situations like that, and being in, you know, little situations where there might be cause for panic, or like, it's just been very, very helpful, because it helps you realize, like, one of the things for me that's really helped boost my confidence in playing all of these shows that we've been playing is realizing, hey, it's actually fine if something goes wrong.
Sure.
You know, it's gonna happen. Things are gonna go wrong. You're gonna have bad cables. You know, your signal's gonna get messed up from something. You're gonna have a buzz on your amp. Like, there's gonna be certain things, you know, your in-ears aren't always gonna work. Sometimes it's gonna suck and you have to go, you know, into direct, you know, into wedges. And then
Right.
sometimes you gotta do your best to hear yourself. That's how it is. But once, you know, I was able to understand that, it's like the confidence that we feel going on stage now is we can just really let loose and really fully enjoy ourselves and connect with the crowd, you know, with nothing in the way.
Sure.
So that's definitely something that I can confirm.
Sure. Now, what's more fun for you when you go into a show and everybody's sitting on their hands at the beginning because they have no idea who you are, or when you get on a stage and everybody knows the words from the minute from the
Sorry, I'm so sorry. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What happened is I have one of my snakes in here, and she freaks me out. She climbs on the top of the cage and then she falls like smack. And I'm like, oh my gosh, today is going to be the day where she dies. And she just scares me. Sorry about that.
It's all good.
She's fine. Anyway,
Nice.
sorry.
No, I was just asking, you know, what is it more fun when you win a crowd because they don't know who you are, or is it more fun when you start with them knowing who you are because you don't have to win them as much, or are you more challenged if you step on stage and see everybody flat, you know, to get them out of their seats and clapping and singing and, you know, performing with you?
Yeah, I definitely am more challenged whenever whenever it's like they're, you know, people are a little flat, like you said, or just a little kind of like, oh, you know, because everyone's like, you know, who is this? And like, I get it, you know? And so, yeah, that does put a little bit of pep in our step to kind of be like, all right, we got to really bring the energy for this. We got to get people pumped up. And I would say it's definitely more exciting for me personally when we do win the crowd over, because then that's when you know, we can really get crazy and get in people's faces and just like, you know, and I love seeing, and I also just, it's a difficult feeling to describe for me, that when I just see like the smiles on people's faces and like, you know, clapping and, or singing the words. Some people know the words to our songs. Like, it's crazy to see that. So honestly, I think my favorite part is when we win the crowd over. But also I do love whenever people know we've only done like one headlining show so far, but that one was incredibly fun, and it was just, the energy was just jam-packed with energy, and you know, we got to play a full set, and it was just so much fun.
Sure. Is that something you see is going to be, you're going to get to do more of in 2022? I mean, obviously you have this big monster tour with Slash coming up, but you know, aside from that, do you see a Plush, you know, a small club tour or something like that for the summer?
I'm not sure for the summer, but I mean, I'm not sure about tours for headlining, but I know that I hope that we definitely have some headlining stuff. I know that for our album release party on February 11th, that'll be a headline show, and we're super excited about that. It's being received really well so far, and and plus it's my hometown, you know, so like, this is going to be our first hometown show for any of us, and it's also going to be our first Northeast show. So I'm incredibly excited about that. So I can definitely see more headlining shows in our future if the fans will allow that.
Sure, definitely. Well, Moriah, let's dig into the record a little bit. Listening to Plush, the album, not the band, and the band, I guess. listening to it, and being somebody that has been following along since before, I'm well aware that a lot of the songs were yours. You know, they were yours that you brought to the band and got fiddled around with and changed a little bit and made into what they became. How? Yeah, well, they changed, but you know, they as you were telling me in text, and nobody knows that but me and you, you know, they got changed, but they got changed what even you seem to think was for the better, you know.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
But how difficult is that for you, the creator of the songs, to A, accept change as you wrote them with specific meaning in mind, and B, how difficult is it to not sing the wrong words now, to sing the old verses and whatnot?
I definitely will say at first I was like, damn, like, I'm like, damn it. Like, why can't I get the freaking, I'm like, I remember actually before I did an acoustic, like, virtual concert thing from this company called Cover Band TV. It's a local company that's really awesome. And I did a concert for that. And I remember it was right around the time that we had just rearranged Hate and stuff. And so I had been practicing the new version, you know, the Plush version that we know now. And I was somebody was like, hey, can you play I Hate, which was, you know, the Moriah Formica version. Right. And I was like, yeah, sure. So I go to play it, and all of a sudden, in like the second verse, all these different lyrics started happening, and everyone's like, wait, what is that? And I'm like, oh shit, man. I'm like, so there was a little thing, but good thing it was live, so it wasn't like, but I thought that was really funny. So it took me a while, but now it's like I'm having almost like a hard time remembering, like, this is how I know that things change for the best, because I don't miss the old versions at all. Sure. You know, I don't miss them. I don't, and there's just so much more energy. As far as how difficult it was was really difficult at first for some of the songs, not for all of them, but for some of them, I was like, oh man, I really love this part, or I really love, but what it was is I knew going into this that working with Johnny K, I trusted him. That was the number one thing, is I trusted him because, you know, he's a genius and he's a badass, and he's worked with, you know, Disturbed, and and Three Doors Down and all these amazing bands. I mean, he's worked with everyone. And
Sure.
so I trusted him, you know, and I trusted that he knows a good song, and he has just such an incredible vision for structuring songs. Like, it's just, he just pops them out.
Right.
He's like, well, why don't you just take this and do that? I'm like, shit, why didn't I do that? You know, and it's so much better. So a lot of it was just, you know, having trust in that you don't know everything and that it's what's better for the song. And so, you know, once I realized that, I was able to just kind of let it go. And I also realized that I had comfort knowing that these were my songs, that I wasn't, you know, I was going to try, I tried every single option that people suggested, because when you hear things a different way, you can like it better. And I did. I ended up liking a lot of people's ideas way better than I liked what I had, you know? So it was really just having humility and, you know, trusting that people, you know, people's ideas can be better than yours, you know, in a lot of situations. So, and I had a lot to learn. So it was difficult at first for a couple of the songs, but it really was just overall a very smooth process. And I just had a great feeling about the songs the whole entire time as they were being reworked.
Sure. Now let me ask the tabloid question, and I don't want a tabloid answer. I want an honest answer. Okay. Listening to the album, it's very clear that you're the worst at picking people to date. Have you figured that out?
I haven't. I have not. Okay, here's my problem, okay?
Okay.
As a Scorpio woman, I fall way too hard. That's my problem.
All right.
I fall way too hard, and you know, when I was writing these songs at the time, I was too trusting of people. And you know, I don't really date actually that much. But the people that I did date, it didn't go well.
I guess.
But yeah, but you know, it's like, thank them for this album.
Sure.
You know?
Have you heard from any of them? Have you heard from any of them? Is this about me?
I have. I still, you know, Chris, I didn't want to say it, but I just
I didn't mean me.
I thought you were messing around with me.
No.
I was gonna go right along with it.
No, I know, I suck. No, I meant have you heard from somebody that said, "Hey, this is us, you know, what happened? What are you writing songs about us for?"
Actually, yes, I have. One of the girls, I actually am really good friends with her, and I still talk, you know, but yeah, I do still, and they know which songs are about them. So it's, you know, it's just kind of whatever. I haven't really heard from the other one, but you know,
right.
Fine.
But
it's in the past.
Right.
Exactly. They know what I think of them. So
sure. And if they don't, they can just get a record. I mean, geez.
Exactly. Buy my album. No, I'm just
there you go. Well, I know this is a question that's way early to ask, but are you looking forward to doing a record now as a true band, which means truly collaborating with the other three, or do you think it'll be kind of like this one where you'll write the songs, you'll write the music, and then you'll present it to them?
I mean, the way it is I'm totally, you know, open to, I want to work as a band, and we do, you know, everybody, even like with the songs that were mine, I mean, everybody added their own thing, you know, so I mean, we all helped bring the songs to life, you know, and I want, you know, I prefer to work as a band. But also the thing is I have so many feelings and so many emotions that I write a lot, you know.
Sure.
And I find myself, you know, writing complete songs a lot. And so by the time we go to make our second album, I'll probably have a lot of songs, you know.
Sure.
And I think what ends up happening, like the last time, is you know, we'll bring them to Johnny or management or whoever, and people give opinions on what their best is, you know, the band will, and so it comes together that way. But I really do hope to work as a band and really just write songs together, you know, from the start. So yeah, I do hope that that will be a big factor in our next album.
Cool. Now,
and I think it will.
That sounds as it should be, really, because you know it can only strengthen what you do.
Right.
One thing that I'll make this as a suggestion as well as curious of your thought is one of my favorite things that you guys have done as a band that's been, you know, out on YouTube, which is pretty much every minute of your life, it seems like these days. But the one thing that I have seen is I loved the thing that you did with Sirius XM, where it was where you were doing Down in a Hole, where you were kind of sharing vocals with Ashley. Is there thought as you go forward to try and do more of that kind of a harmony? Because she's got a great voice herself. I mean, it really
does.
It really seems like that's a dynamic that you didn't explore on the album that is just ripe for the taking to really give yourself another level. No,
yeah, I totally agree. I would be, as a matter of fact, I've given thought, I was like, you know, we got to have songs where we all do like a 4-part harmony. Like that would be so, because I know that, you know, for Ashley specifically, one of her biggest influences and her favorite bands is Alice in Chains.
Sure.
You know, her dad was in a band with Mike Starr.
Okay.
So, so it would just be a complete full circle moment. And, but yeah, no, I totally agree. I think it would be awesome. I really do.
Sure. Definitely.
You know.
Sure. Now, Moriah, obviously you're going in March. You're going out with Slash. That's a big show. You've done some big shows, no question. And I love Seven Dust probably more than I love any band on the planet. They are by far my favorite band going today. But they're not legendary like Slash. How intimidating, how pumped are you for that? Are you nervous about that? Is the band nervous about that? Because that's a big tour with a lot of eyes on it.
Yeah, I don't think we've really talked about how all of us are feeling about it. I know that in general we're excited, obviously, but I would imagine that we're all nervous. I know that I'm nervous. I'm definitely nervous. I get nervous for everything, like I said earlier.
Right.
And this just, you know, but I'm way, nerves are way up here for this because it's Slash, you know? Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm really excited. I'm a person that doesn't know exactly what to feel until I'm like in the moment and I'm there for the first time. So it's tough, but as of right now, I'm a little nervous because I don't know how the audience is going to react because, you know, it's always a thing that I think of.
Sure.
With, you know, because it's just a different fan base that we're playing for, you know, with this. And you know, Slash, it's intimidating to be, to be on tour with Slash, but you know, in general, I'm very excited for it. Sure. I'm very excited. I'm just kind of wondering, you know, what to expect, and there's a lot of like unknown, I guess, which makes me really anxious.
Well, you know, again, the one thing you could do is slide Isolation into the set and see if somebody else wanders out to sing it with you. Yeah. That could that'd be so awesome.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see Miles Kennedy sing live. I've never seen him sing live, and he's one of my favorite singers in rock. Like, he's incredible.
Yep.
So
He's amazing live. I've seen the Slash show, I don't know, 6 or 7 times, and I've seen Alter Bridge 6 or 7 times, and I've seen Miles Soul. I'm a huge Miles fan and friend too. So that's a guy I would imagine that, you know, and this is just me to you, you know, when you get to that, if you say, hey, if we play this song, will you come out and sing it with us? My bet is he would, because he's that kind of guy. So, you know,
I mean, that would be amazing if that happened. It really, really would.
Well, it could happen.
He's like, I don't understand. You know what I don't understand about Miles Kennedy? How he plays some of the parts that he does on rhythm while he's singing. Like he is such an incredible singer, but he's also such an incredible guitar player. Like it's that riff for Isolation. When I was learning it and like seeing, you know, the "when all is lost to you inside," but he's doing this the whole time. And I'm like, how is he doing all this? Like just effort. I was watching live videos, you know, of him. So I'm like, how does he do this? I want to see how he, and I'm just like, I just don't get it. He's so amazing. He really, really is.
Yeah. Well, he is guitar player first, singer second, even though sounds like somebody else that I'm talking to right now that, you know, I thought was guitar player first and actually then heard the voice and was like, all right, enough with the guitar. But, you know, I mean, Miles is definitely that way, but he's one of the nicest dudes. You'll see when you meet him. He's one of the very nicest dudes. Him and Todd are so awesome in that band. So you'll have fun.
He seems like really modest.
He's very shy and jumpy with nerves. Again, reminding me of somebody else in this call.
Seems like we'll get along great then.
Yep, you guys will be perfect. Very good. Well, Moriah, obviously, man, you have the Slash tour coming out. You have the Plush record that is out right now. Let me pop that on the screen here so that people can know what they need to be buying, because that's that's the big thing. Are you getting the number of like streams and plays and buys and everything that you guys were hoping for when you put the record out?
Yeah, I mean it's being received really, really well, and you know, it's only been out for like 4 3 months, maybe
5 months, yeah, something like that,
yeah, something like that. And so I you know, we haven't even really gotten started on this thing, you know, pushing it yet. So, you know, I'm hoping that if we release, you know, a music video or whatever we end up doing in the future, you know, maybe hopefully it'll get even more traction on the album, you know, but as of right now, it's going really, really well. And a lot of people are buying hard copies, which I was really surprised about, you know, so I guess I wasn't that surprised because, you know, the rock fan base is, you know,
right. Sure. They still
school.
buy
they
stuff.
Like CDs, you know,
Exactly.
So I still love CDs. So, you know, it's going really, really well, and I'm really, really happy with it.
Very good. Well, real quick, we'll do a quick speed round here, and then I'll get out of your hair here. Who's always late in the band?
Oh man, I don't know. Probably me, to be honest.
Nice. Who's always early?
Probably me.
Who's always early?
I feel like Bella is the most like punctual. She's very organized. Bella's very like, she has her shit together when it comes to that. You know what I mean? Bella, I would say Bella, yeah.
Sure. Who's the most excited to do something in every city?
Definitely Ashley, I would say. Ashley and Bella they love to go like explore the cities. They love to take like walks around the towns and go to find like little coffee shops and stuff. They do all sorts of fun things when we get to the cities and stuff. So I would say definitely Ashley and Bella.
Who's the most likely to say, nah, I'm staying in today?
Definitely Brooke and I. It's funny because it's like Ashley and Bella are like the extroverted kind of like, and Brooke and I are kind of like the introverted, like, I don't know, like I'll just stay in the dressing room and eat food, you know?
Right.
So it's funny. It's like half and half.
Right. Who's most likely to be able to leave the hotel room, leave wherever you are without their phone?
Me.
Really?
100%.
I would have never guessed that one. Seems like every time I turn around, there's a social media post or video or something from you.
I know. No, it's definitely me. I would definitely forget my phone.
Who's least likely?
I want to say maybe Ashley.
Okay.
Because she's always making like really hilarious videos
Right.
on her phone. She's so funny. I can't with her.
Last one, which is probably Ashley as well, because you just sort of said who's the class clown of the group.
Oh, Ashley, 100%, hands down, no arguments. Ashley, 100%. That girl has me rolling like every single second that I'm with her.
Nice.
She is too funny.
Awesome. Well, Moriah, obviously, lots of stuff going on in the Plush camp. I, as somebody, I think I've told you this outside of this, but I couldn't be happier seeing this whole thing blow up for you. It's really great to see somebody with that kind of talent actually not getting sucked into the machine and, spit out without the accomplishment. And being fair, I kind of thought that was what was going to happen after The Voice. It really sort of looked like you were going to be doing covers and, instead of actually finding your footing, but you didn't, and you found your footing, and the band is taking off, which is fun to watch. As just a friend and a fan, it's fun to watch this happening for you. So tell people where they can go to be part of this. Where should we send them to keep up with Plush and tour dates and all that good stuff?
Yeah, if anybody wants to keep up with us and what we're doing and our dates and stuff and new releases, you can head over. We have a website. It's called plushrocks.net.
Okay. And
we're also Plush Rocks on Instagram and Twitter. And on Facebook, we are Plush Official. And I believe we have a TikTok as well. And that is Plush Rocks as well.
Right. And pay Moriah for a cameo, you cheapskates. Jesus. There you go. All right, Moriah. Well, one more time. The album is simply called Plush, as is the band. And go see her when she's out with Slash or whatever tour is out next, whenever they're opening for Metallica or whatever at the next thing. Whatever.
Oh my gosh, that would be crazy.
Well, that's kind of the trajectory you're on, no? There's not. You're running out of mid-tier bands to open up for. You're going to be up when the big boys here soon enough. But Moriah, it's always great to talk to you, and good luck with it.
Thank you so much.
All
right. So great to talk to you again.
The Classic Metal Show is now on Roku. That's right, everybody. If you're a fan of The Classic Metal Show and you have a Roku, we have a channel for you. Just go to your channel search and search for The Classic Metal Show. All the videos are uploaded so that you get every single episode of the show. So check it out. The Classic Metal Show, now on Roku.